And we are live. Hello, everyone. Sorry, some little technical problem. Okay, we are live on LinkedIn. Let's see. We are live on YouTube. And we are live on Facebook. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. I just finished an amazing podcast with Kimberly. It was an amazing conversation. So we talk about visibility, why it's important that nurses become visible now in this very challenging and tough time. So I just had a few minutes of break. And now I wanted to actually talk about how to become a career coach and why it's important now become a career coach. If you don't know me and the first time that you come across me, I am Dina Poloni. I am an internationally educated nurse from Italy to UK. And I've got more than 23 years of international experience. I work different places and countries. And I moved abroad in 2015. So since 2014, I started to help other nurses moving abroad. And I grew my career twice in Italy, because I worked in Italy 12 years across different regions before I actually moved to UK, where I'm working now is 11 years that I work in UK. But I'm going to share my story because it's part of the presentation, why you should consider become a nurse career coach. I also volunteer for nearly 12 years for the Italian Red Cross. So I have several roles, several projects. We overcome several problems. So I built my career, let's say, 3 times. One in Italy as a nurse in the A&E, in the or emergency department, in the intensive care unit, and also on the territory. And then I built my career with the Italian Red Cross as educator mentor and as a first aid nurse. And then I built my career here in UK as a nurse A&E emergency room, but also intensive care unit specializes in cardiac surgery and their research. And now I'm a clinical nurse specialist, but also I'm a career coach for international educated nurses. So I want to share my vision and I wanted to share my role as a nurse career coach, because it's very important that you understand that now nursing is changing dramatically, and so nurses need the direction. So if you are an experienced nurse who has at least 5 years experience, you should think about career coaching. So before I go there, I would like to check actually if we are really live and if people can see me actually. So let's check this one. I'm live with few people watching on LinkedIn. Let's see on YouTube. We had an amazing engagement from LinkedIn and YouTube on our preview live. We're so pleased. Yes, we are live with some maybe network problem, I don't know. And we are live on Facebook. Let's see. So please, if you have any question, just write down in the comment. I'll do my best to pick up all the question and I will answer to you. So let's have a look what I'm going to talk about today. Flavia, live on LinkedIn, thank you very much for coming to the event and to tell me that. And I hope you can hear me properly, right? So let's jump with the presentation. So become a nurse career coach, but without burnout though. It's very important that if we have to create a side hustle, we don't burn out with it. So what we're going to talking about today. First of all, why become a career coach? It's so important now. Why I'm going to share what will happen in the next 10 years in the healthcare system. What is the direction that the healthcare system is taking now? And so I'm going to be talking about how nursing has been redesigned with AI, climate change, populational shift, and global mobility. And then I'm going to explain you the nursing transformation, so the evolutionary revolution that nursing are taking, starting from my story, my roadmap, how I created this nursing career coaching business, if we can say that. You can see me, Flavia. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate you. And so I start from my story, my roadmap, how I created this new role, some ethical business principles. Because nurses are really facing a hard time now. So many are trying to leave nursing and become content creator, but content creator can burn out very easily because there are so many content creators right now, right? So if you don't have anything meaningful, you end up having, and we talked about early on in our previous life, you end up having so many followers, but not sell anything actually. So you want to create a business, but you actually create an expensive hobby. Oh, hello, Kim. Thank you very much. Our conversation was so inspiring. Thank you. I felt so sorry that I have to leave, but I have to start this one too. So there we go. So what you're going to leave today if you watch this presentation? First of all, clarity on what's changing in nursing in the next 10 years. So if you know the direction, you know how to position yourself right. You're going to have a blueprint for income impact beyond bedside, but without burnout, because the method that I created is very systematic. So you can really follow a framework that is the same for everyone, but that leads you to a unique outcomes. So even though the framework that I used for myself, then I used with others, is the same, you actually you're going to have your own unique outcome if you follow the framework. And then I'm going to share, you're going to live with a simple lens for ethical offer and no manipulation. And at the end, if I still have a time and there is some engagement, I would love to do some live coaching. So you understand in practice what I'm talking about. Live coaching that I hope to give you a next step for what you have to do in the next 72 hours to build your coaching business. So let me start with my founder story. I made my coffee very quickly and it's still very hot. But I need a sip so I can talk properly. So let me talk about my founder story. I really want to telling you about my entrepreneurship roots. I come from a family where my grandmother and grandfather, my mom's side, they have land, they have olive oil, they have olive tree, lands, fruits, and so they cultivate a lot of things. And from the land, they were able to build a farm. So they had animal as well. From the land and the farm, they were able to open a shop and sell some product. Some from the farm, some they we produce themselves, like olive oil, also cakes, breads, all the stuff of things. So they were able to grow from a land to a farm to a shop, and then they invest the money in property. So I've been inspired by their behavior, how they interacted with client, and I really learn ethical selling because. So while my grandmother, grandfather, they built this empire, they also empowered my auntie and my mom. My mom didn't work very much, but my auntie, she's opened art gallery in a little village. And I'll tell you, she was able to sell high expensive painting to normal people. And I say that I learned ethical selling because I watched my grandparent sell product and also give things to the poor if needed. So while they were ethically selling to their client, they also helping people in need. So they maybe give an extra thing because they know that that family have few kids to feed, and so they may give an extra thing. So I saw really this powerful way of serve their client. But also I saw my auntie who actually were able to sell this expensive paint to normal people. But she didn't trick them. She really served them because those people came to this shop, to the art gallery, with the hope that they could have something in their house, in their home, that they show their status, that they can impress their family and friends. So while they enter the art gallery with a hope, they actually lived with a beautiful piece of art, but also with a transformation. They really felt when they were home with their nice piece of art, they felt important. They felt they achieved something in their life. So I saw both my grandparent and my auntie sell transformation, and self transformation being ethical with the sale. And so this is the very first experience that I have with entrepreneurship. After that, unfortunately, life happened, and both my grandfather and my mom died for cancer in 6 months apart of each other. It was very traumatic. It was very painful, and my family sold so many of the assets we had, tried to save them both, right? So grief and responsibility, because I am just the year after I started nursing school. I take responsibility because the family was devastated. I have a younger sister, so I have to take responsibility on her. I have to go to nursing school. I was far away from home. And then my sister, because was also my father was depressed. My aunt unfortunately stopped to work in the art gallery and had depression as well. So my sister decided to drop school. And she said that she wanted to run a bar or a pub. So she decided that she want to be in a pub. So with my father, we helped her to find a pub, to rent the pub with the license, and we start we open, and we have amazing clients. We really learn. I learn a lot. I was inspired because it was mainly young adult. We have alcohol, but we didn't sell them much because the majority of our affluence was really young adults. So we organized partying. We did birthday party. We did cake. We did pastry. So we have fun, right? We built rapport, and we saw people laugh. We saw people falling in love. We saw so many beautiful things. But at a certain point, my sister decided to leave because she was still young, and she didn't feel right yet. She was 14, so she was very young. I was doing nursing school, so it was very tough for me because I juggled to this pub between the last years of nursing, the graduation, the dissertation, and then starting a new job as a new graduate nurse. It was very terrible. So, as you really know. So, I learned that, yes, you can be good in something and working very well, but if it's not sustainable, you cannot continue. I was tired, right? I was doing my nursing school and my new nurse job and working in a pub, but quite often by myself. It was so hard. So if I learned, the first learning with my grandpa and my auntie was ethical selling, and that we must serve and give transformation to people is how we really are ethical. With the second part, after grieving my mom and my grandfather, I learned that even if we're good in something, but what we do is unsustainable because it really brings us to burnout, is not good. So we have to do something that we are good at, but that doesn't really overwhelm us or burn out at. And then I basically started doing my career in nursing because I love nursing. And as I said, I was also volunteer for the Italian Red Cross, so I learned so much skill in leadership, in mentoring, in coaching. And so at a certain point I decided I wanted to build my own business. In Italy, healthcare is managed through cooperatives. So I create a cooperative with other two people. And this cooperative grew fast. After 1 year and a half, nearly 2 years, we were managing 150 people, of which 136 were nurses, and we have the educator with to assist disabled child in school. We were on the territory with the ambulance. I was managing the nursing staff for the northeast of Rome, a big project, that one. We organized summer camp with children. So we did a lot of things, lots of projects, growing very fast. So many people were happy, but unfortunately the tone shift because I've been asked to do something unethical. I've been asked to accept certain compromise that were not in line with my value. So I decided to step out, say, no, I'm not happy about these choices. And unfortunately, I lost of the project. I lost of the contract. And so I have to send home some people and I feel very defeated. I feel a failure. Not just that, because I have to send away people, I have to go back to all the chart, the finance, all the things I discovered. Then the admin team was using the money in the wrong way. So I felt betrayed. I felt a failure. I felt that I shouldn't never start that business at all. What I was thinking I was able to, all the negative self-talk that so many people experience, and I was very hard with myself, and I was about to maybe I get depressed, but anyway. So what I learned from that experience is that fast is not sustainable, because when you go fast and you grow fast, you can do mistakes, or you can't see properly what should you see. So you should see that when other people do mistake or they do something wrong. So growing fast is not good because you don't pay the right attention what you're doing. And so I have to start a legal case, and which cost me £12,000. So in total, I lost about 60,000. Sorry, euro, because I was in Italy. But what's happened that in those years when I was doing the legal case, the scandal of Mafia Capitale break in Italy. So I learned that the compromise that I've been asked for to accept were compromise created by mafia, was Mafia Capitale. So I learned something else. I learned that you must hold in line with your ethic and with your structure, because the ethic and the structure really can save your life. Because imagine those people were were put in jail. Imagine if I decide to say yes and not be ethical and not be principle with my value. Imagine I say yes to those people just because I was scared to lose the contract. I would probably end up in jail as well. So I learned so much from my entrepreneur journey. And then the UK arrived. Because at the end I was feeling humiliated. I lost a lot. I needed to build from scratch. We also lost a couple of family members, so we were completely defeated. So we decided to leave Italy, disappointed, angry, but we already have 2 kids, so we really move in UK with the hope of building a new life. And so I thought that if I want to build again something of mine, a business or something like that, I going to rebuild with structure, boundaries, and still with ethics, and no hustle. So I wanted, if I'm going to build something, it must be with important structure, boundaries, and continue with ethics. And then I just focused on settle in a new country because I already have 2 kids. So I wanted to build a new life, a new home for my kids. So I focused on working, not really even career yet. And I've been working for nearly 5 years before actually I decided it was time for me to grow my career again in a new country. But while I was working, I was also serving and studying. And I realized that modern nursing success is not necessarily only built on clinical skills or on tech skills, but is built on self-awareness and position inside a global system that is constantly evolving. So the nurses who have success were those who actually understood where the system were moving, and they were able to position themselves in that moment, in that space, and be able to put together their skills, their knowledge, their skills, but also all the people. So together they were able to create something meaningful and have success. And so this was one learning point that was so fundamental for my career, especially, but also for the development my role as a career coach. And so self-awareness is the first thing, but also be able to recognize the patterns and recognize where the healthcare system is moving, so you can position yourself in the right place at the right moment. And so I understood that the nurses who thrive, who are successful, are those who see the system early and move first. And this is how I actually built my career in UK as well. And if I was still in band 5 for 5 years because I was really focused on reconstruction, right? To build a new life abroad because I was focused on my kids. When I decided that was time for me to do career, I moved from band 5 to band 7 in less than 4 years because I understood the system and also because I studied career coaching. So I was telling you about what is happening in the nursing in the next 10 years, but this live event is 1 hour, approximately 1 hour enough, right? So I don't have enough time to go to the all particulars. But because we are in the International Nurse Week and we're going to celebrate International Nurse Day in 2 days, I want to tell you that I already have a program, which is Nursing Career Mastery, AI and Climate Change in a Shifting Healthcare Landscape, that give you 6 CPD graded, because I'm proudly a CPD provider now as well, also a career coach. So I'm happy to give you this program at half of the price. So if you click on the QR code, and you at the checkout you write nurses move 50, you're going to have 50% discount. So it's a big program, is 6 an hour of program, which has been recognized internationally. So it has a global CPD global recognition. So it's a very good one. Not because I've done, but because it's been recognized and it's very useful. So if you want to go deeper on this change in healthcare in the next 10 years, I suggest you to grab this big discount, 50% discount, and will last until the 12th of May. So you have just a few days. Okay, I will share with you the QR code later on as well, but you know that you can use Nurses Move 50 for your 50% discount. So why? Because when system change, new problem arise, but also new roles and new opportunity. So you really want to know what is happening in order to position yourself properly. So, and also, if you want to become a career coach, you really need to know where the healthcare system is going, because how can you lead others if you don't know where you're going the first time? So let me tell you what will happen in the next 10 years. I've got some people before I go there. Thank you, Kimberly. I love you so much. Michelle, I would like to add and do career coaching. What course would you recommend or online course will you suggest? I've got a program if you want, but let me talk you through before, because I've got my framework. So this episode is about sharing my method. If you think it's something that you would like to follow, you can just join our free community. The QR code is this one at the top left hand side corner at the top, and you can join a community. But I share with you the detail later on. We are a free community and we are very supporting each other. And there is a program in there. Happy Sunday, Andreas. Nice to see you again, love. Thank you for coming. So what is happening in the next 10 years? Well, no one can predict the future, right? I can, you can, nobody can, but you can forecast something. Especially if you are able to understand pattern, you can have a thought of where the healthcare system is moving. So, and actually to create this program I was talking about, I studied entire year on policy, on foundings, and on AI and climate change, generation shift, all these things. And yes, when with this AI that entered our work and everyday life, I will say, things become unpredictable, right? And people say, AI will store a job, AI will change everything. Now AI, so many jobs will be lost. Yes and no, because, thank you, Kendra. Because if you learn how to use AI, you can use AI for your advantage. And it's the same for nurses as well. So to understand what will happen in the next 10 years, even if AI breakthrough and bring with it all the uncertainties, is also bring with it certain thing that it will stay here, okay? So there are three major answer predictor for what will happen in the next 10 years. We got AI. Everything is changing with AI. Documentation, decision support, triage, education, new reward skills, and also research, and also clinical trial. And so many things are changing. We are changing the way we still doing nursing because of AI. So we're going to gain so much time that we can spend with patients. The problem is we are in a moment where AI solution for nurses are built by engineers or by someone else that knows how to code, that who knows how to create some certain innovation, but who not really knows how nursing workflow is, nursing work is, how patients shift from one second to another. Really not in the data, but in real life. So AI is arrived and it will stay, that you like it or not. So my suggestion is that you take advantage of AI. Keeping ethical anyway, because we work with patients, but it's so important that you understand that AI is here. No me, no you, no anyone else will be able to take it out from healthcare, because it's here to stay in healthcare. And I'll tell you why, because hundreds of billions are invested globally in AI infrastructure. So you know that this will stay from now in 10 years, 20 years time, right? So, and I always say, even to my client, we cannot predict the future, right? And especially if the Third World War will start tomorrow and we all will be dead in 5 days, right? It's no future at all. But until there, if this Third World War won't happen, we know there are three major things that are happening and that no one else can do anything about, because they are happening full stop. And so AI one of these. And we know that is happening because so many hundreds of billions are put in AI infrastructure. So they want that we going to with AI, and we have to, that you like it or not. Second is climate change. Climate change is changing disease patterns, disasters, displacement. They want to create new infrastructure that are able to sustain this climate change. I mean, I'm living in UK, in Kent, and I was reading one of the screenshots of our hospital. We see 15 cases of malaria every year in Kent, in UK. So I would like you to bring, and other disease as well, okay? Tropical disease that now are in North Europe. So climate change, that you believe in or not, climate change is here, is happening. And so many diseases are spread because of climate change. Not just that, respiratory disease also. And mental health related to climate change. So you must pay attention to it. And again, no 100 billions with the AI, but government has spent billions in climate change solution too. So we know that climate change solution and infrastructure are here present and will stay for at least 10 years. So we have to understand which kind of new role of nurses or of nursing are being created because of that. The third anxious predictor of what will happen the next 10 days, and again, all this, I spent 1 year in research, and the program has all the references there. You can read yourself. You have World Health Organization, the Lancet, the report, and financial article, all the things. They are there. If you want my program, you still have the QR code with half of the price, and you will learn how healthcare is changing, in which direction, and you got all the sources there. So I'm not inventing anything. I'm just reporting what I found. So the third predictor is population need shift. Two major age population are redefining healthcare. And I was talking about only the two major ones, which are baby boomers who are entering the elderly phase of their life. So they're not just retiring from work. And so we see so many nurses leaving the profession because they are retiring. But also we'll need, so we see a reduction of the number of nurses who are able to work in healthcare. But also these people, which are the major population lived now, ever lived actually in the world, they are shifting their needs. And so we'll see a rise in nursing care for elderly. And so they will open so many opportunity for nurses in there, in the elderly care, in dementia, also in AI related to dementia, in AI related to elderly care, but also new nursing role related to elderly care, related to AI and climate change, because these three factors, they affect each other, they interact each other. So you can see there's so many nursing role we arise, and they are really starting. We are already seeing so many new nursing role in the past few years, right? 2-3 years now. So many will rise as well. So if you want to become a career coach, you should really know what is happening next, because if you don't know where healthcare is going, how can you lead your young nurses to their career? So baby boomers are entering the elderly stage, but millennials as well, who are the second biggest age population, they are entering an age where they start to having chronic problem, chronic disease. They also have mental health problem. They are in the bearing, what's it say? They want to have kids, so we had a surge need of midwife as well. All this service nursing care related to pregnancy. So, and also it's not just the shift in nursing in population needs that affect nursing care, but also the mobility of people. So we, as nurses, we should learn more about emotional intelligence, but cultural intelligence as well, to be able to provide a right care, a person-centered care, but also to create new product, to create new nursing solution, and also to build our career, right? So population needs and mobility, meaning aging, chronic disease, mental health problem, migration. So all these three predictors, that they actually affect each other, right? They are creating so many new nursing roles. And so what's happened? That people will be confused. Nurses don't really know what's happening, so they will be confused. They, instead of taking the opportunity that these three predictors are creating, they actually become frozen because they don't know where to go. And actually, Kimberly, yes, I see you. AI will open many doors. We have to learn to be curious. We can't continue to live in fear. Exactly. Fear of failure and fear of the unknown. That's where the opportunity to learn opens up. We need to stop learning. We never stop learning. Sorry. It's information. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so it's so important that we are curious to understand what is going on in the next years in the healthcare. So we are able to learn what is needed to be learned, and we able also to take in the opportunity of all these roles that are coming. But if you want to become a career coach, you must know what will be or what are really hard this new role in nursing, because otherwise, how can you guide your client towards success? So why career coaching demand will grow? So in time of disruption and big changes, nurses don't need more information. And I always say to my client, you are already enough. You are enough. You are a nurse. You studied to become a nurse. You have your experience, you have your critical thinking. You are enough. You don't need to learn more. You know, at least you want to pursue a certain specialty. You don't need to learn to code. You don't need to take another master to do career, right? You just learn how to position yourself in the right place at the right time. So nurses don't need more information. They need interpretation of what is happening. Like now I'm telling you what is happening, of course, in a very short, concise way, because we don't have time. If you want to dive deep in this concept, in this topic, please go to the QR code. You have 50% discount, so please take it easy opportunity. So nurses, they need interpretation what is going on. They need identity work. Why? Because they are living a moment of big uncertainty, because there is so many changes. And where there are changes, people feel challenged, and so they feel uncertain. But if you have a plan for what you can do in your seasonal life now in this very moment, you also need to work on your identity, because I'm 47, right? And I have 3 kids. My ability to do a certain career is not the same as Kenya, for example. She's here today. She's very young. I don't know if she's 45, 36, 25, 26. Sorry, Kenya, please, if you want to share. But no, never ask age to a woman. But anyway, she's very young. She has no kid yet. So her time, her capability to grow certain career is different of mine. So this is why I always talk about seasonal life, because you can grow your career exponentially, right? But you can do only certain thing now. What is your now? What season your life is now for you? For me, it's something. For you, it's something else. So we don't have the same capacity. We never have the same agency, right? When I moved abroad, I was already 36. I already have 2 kids. Why I have to stay in band 5 for so long, for 5 years? Because I have to build a home for my kids. I have to take my kid to school. I have to take my kid to the doctor. I need to take care of my kids. So the career for me was not important. While, for example, young nurses who were working with me that were maybe 25, 26, they came in UK by themselves. They didn't have a family. They may have remittance to send home, but it's not the same responsibility or time management that I had. They were able to go to Moto Band 6 in a matter of 3 years, also because they didn't realize, but they were in a workplace environment that they promote growth and career progression. So they were so lucky they didn't realize. But they were young, they were available, they had time, they have strengths, because a nurse body of 26 years old is not the same nursing body of 47-year-old. I'm sorry. So they have a different capacity on me. So you really have to understand your seasonal life to make the right decision for your career now. You cannot watch the others, because others have this. They are moving in a different season of their life. So nurses that don't need more information now. They need identity work, so they have to understand. They need guidance to understand inside of themselves and make a plan that is in line with their seasonal life. Okay, because career ladders now is different. It's not like it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Everything has changed, especially because AI, climate change, and generational shift. Things are moving so fast at the moment. So this is why career coaching is so in demand, will be so in demand. Now still a luxury, right? Only the smart people, only the smart nurses understand that they need a coach to figure out how to do career quickly and in the most precise way. But because this is happening in the next very near future, 1-2 years time, career coaches will be so in demand. They will become a necessity, no more a luxury. So I really recommend you, if you have 5 or more years of experience and you love teaching or mentoring to others, please consider coaching, career coaching, or coaching in general, because we were talking about visibility in the previous podcast with Kimberly, and we really were talking about visibility for nursing on social media, because we really need to make the change in our profession. No one will do it for us. They will adjust their need for what they need from nurses, but nurses should take the lead. We must create the change that we want to see. Thank you, Kendra. You are stating a very key point, Nurse Dina. Knowing what works for you at every point in time is important. Personal circumstances varies and can influence the career moves that we make. Thank you. You're very welcome, Kendra, all the time, and I love to chat with you. So I wanted to share with you how become a career coach if life is difficult. So if you have 5 or more years of experience in nursing, you probably have a family, right? And we said that we have to build our career based on our seasonal life. And as well, if you want to become career coaches, because we have the years experience, they can support us in lead other people, in guide other people. We probably are in a phase of life that is difficult, because we maybe don't have time because we may have family, and because maybe we have bills to pay. So instead of create a new business, working on a new role, we prefer to stay where we are, because we have the security of salary, because we have bills to pay. Or maybe because, like me, I've got chronic condition. I've got endometriosis that led me to chronic pain and so many more challenges as well. And so I cannot burn out. I cannot burn myself out. And so if I want to create something new, I need to do it consciously. And I have to plan. I need to plan in a way that it is sustainable for me. Okay. Or you may have more responsibility at work, and so you already are so overwhelmed and so exhausted that starting something new, you don't really have the capacity, the urgency, but you don't really have the willingness to do it. So what you can do if you want to become a career coach, you actually have the experience to be able to coach other people, but life is so difficult for you at the moment. And so you don't know what to do. Well, you have two options, basically. So you can do by yourself, and you do throughout self-learning, experiment, and failure, repetitive failure, because you have to understand by yourself what works and what doesn't work, right? So what's happened that you lose time, you lose money, you are going through emotional drainage because you keep failing, because you keep experimenting, right? And so failing until you make it is so difficult on an emotional point of view, right? So it's emotional drainage. And so because you're so emotionally drained and fatigued, you are in a moment your momentums never arrive, or we should say you are in a momentous roller coaster. What does it mean? That you get momentum, you're doing well, people are engaging, everything drop and you lose momentum. But then you continue and you rise again, and then you stop and go down. And this is actually the life of an entrepreneur, right? If you want to become a career coach, you actually are becoming an entrepreneur. So These create emotional fatigue and burnout. You have few and unhappy clients that don't want to give you a review because they didn't really enjoy the experience working with you, because you are exhausted, you are emotionally drained, and you don't really know what you're doing because you are trying by yourself. And so you start to have self-doubt. So I really want to do this. I keep failing. Should I really do this? I'm very passionate about coaching and guiding people, but actually this is so overwhelming. And so you keep losing momentum. You start to have some doubt, and expose yourself as you should do. You now become the visible entrepreneur that you should be to share your new idea, your business. And so no one really knows you. And so how you can build your credibility in that space to say, I am a career coach. You go through certification. So you try to go to one certification to another to see that actually you have the certificate that you are a career coach. Now, I go through certification as well. But I didn't go to certificate because I didn't have client. I went to gain certificate. Actually, I went for program, not really for the certificate, but to continue to build my momentum, but also to learn more. So I was able to give more to my client, right? So the second option that you've got, and that you become a career coach with someone who has already walked the walk and as a method, they give you a structure and path. Okay. And this is where you have your high return on investment, because yes, you're going to invest in this person that help you to do it, but you have a quick return on investment because this person gives a structured process and guidance, so you know what you are doing. You know that you're not making a mistake unless you don't follow instruction. You know that the method is already experimented and trusted. So you're going to apply something that you know this is going to work. So you're going to apply a method and you start to have your result. And you start to have early client success. And you boost your self-esteem and your momentum, because every client that you have, because you made it with a structure, framework and plan, these clients are actually happy about the work that you're doing with them. So you have a happy client because they are successful. You boost your self-esteem because you say, oh, I'm doing something that does work, and then give a very, 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 sorry, apologize. They give you result, right? Let me close, apologize. I was sure that this is very unprofessional. I apologize for this. I didn't mean to power off. Didn't realize. So you have patients that give you result. And so your self-esteem is boosted, and your momentum is boosted, and you're emotionally stable. Because you also learn, and the person who guide you, teach you how to regulate yourself, how to create that emotional intelligence that is good for your emotional stability, but also the emotional stability of your client. Because when you have a framework in your career coaching, they help you with structure. It also help you to go through the structure with an emotional intelligence that give you stability. So you build your credibility through relationship and client success. You don't need extra certificate unless you want, like I did, for example, unless you want to go deep with the learning and your learner skill. But also I did the certificate because, to be honest, when I start to help nurses move abroad and succeed abroad, it was 2014, 2015. So there were no career coaches at all for nurses. And there were very few career coaches for any profession globally. So there's something that was new in the air, but no one were talking really about, but especially nurses. So there were no course for career coaches to become a career coach. I have kind of put together different things to be able to create my method, and then to be able to create this program for career coaches, how to become a career coach, how to become a career coach without burnout. So if you have someone who walk the walk, you no need to go to hundreds of program, because you already have a structured program that help you become a career coach. And so I create through the years, becoming a career coach, becoming a successful expert nurse myself, and becoming a successful career coach for nurses. I also create my method that I call Season of Life method. It's 12-month roadmap that help nurses to become career coaches without stress, burnout. So each letter is a month, is a model of the program. Let's give me a steps. Please, if you have any question, let me know, because I'm more than happy to answer. But I prefer go to the coaching session at the end. We are really 56 minutes ahead. So self-led positioning is the first model. What does it mean? Niche down and create your message without overwhelm. And people talk about, especially guru influencers, and say, you have to find your niche. You have to find your niche. Well, this is not mine. It's actually my coach, Leonard Duzzi, who said that your niche is you. So if you look into yourself, you have your grown experience. What have you done in the past? This is the experience that you can teach to others. And so you have to go to the people who are like you, who want to achieve the same success that you achieved. So your niche is you. If you talk to yourself, you talk to the right people, and the right people will come to you. So your niche is you. You have to, the first work we're gonna do is self-led positioning. So we work on you to understand your niche. Basically, it's self-work we're gonna do. Then establish foundation. We want to talk about the offer containers, the boundary, and a simple system. Yeah, to create the first engagement and to create your first idea of product. And then you attract funding member. You want early adopter because you want to test your product with just few people, because you want to see if there is something that you can adjust. If you have a product that you create by yourself without check anyone, without understand the people needs, and you throw away in the market, no one is going to buy from you. Okay, so you really need to create something that resonates with people. So you need just a few early adopters that help you to understand if your product could work or not, right? Also, because if you spread the voice to the market and you burn all your opportunity, because especially if it's not complete project or product, people want to like it. So one little baby step at a time, where we go and actually create sustainable, meaningful project. Then the S, servant culture proof, outcome, testimonial, objections, and win. What's happened? You're going to give this product to those close people, and you test with those people and see their feedback, what they like, what they dislike. And then so you make changes. On your product, and you capture their testimonials. So then you optimize, you refine the promise, you refine the structure and the price. And this is your first iteration of the product. And this is the lean methodology. I'm not teaching anything new. I just learn something and I adapted for nursing and career coaching. And network. This is where you start to do your collaboration, your event, partnership. Why? Because you want to create a structure or referrals that help for you to spread the voice, but without get viral. You don't need, especially now, to go viral. You don't need 1,000 people listen to you. You don't need to sell to 1,000 people. Also because you want a few clients that you can really dedicate your time so you can nurture them and you can grow with them. Season we said of life, of offer ecosystem. So you start to create complementary offer. Now that you see that your program is actually working because you were able to test with a few people, now that you already optimize your program, you are good to go for a bigger audience. So you go with the network or your client and you build an ecosystem, like for example an opt-in, which is free. So people start to engage with your work for free, and also they start to engage with you, so you can offer the offer you already refine, and you complete an ecosystem. You create an ecosystem of things that is going to be complementary to your core product. You don't want dilute your product. So I'm a career coach, right? I'm a career coach for international nurses. I help international nurses to be successful abroad. And I help nurses who work in multicultural environments to become successful. So I'm focused on that. I not dilute my things. I focus on that. That's my primary program. That's been in my primary program for long. And so I'll only sold this one. Then I start to give something else. But because I really have a lot of number of successful clients, and I was able to increase as well. Again. So once you have built your authority with those clients, you name your framework. You name your authority, you build the authority, you name your method, and you become the signature. You become the authority of the signature framework. So every time this is an example, anytime I come with a new framework, is because I've done experimentation before, had clients who were happy about it, and they may share publicly their feedback or not, because people may want to remain anonymous, but the feedback is not for you necessarily to bring to attention of the social media. The feedback is important for you so that you can refine your product, improve your product. Life, now you start to leverage visibility. You start to create repeatable content and credibility asset. What does it mean? You're going to work especially on few main topics or pain points of your client, and you repeat and you double down on that. Now, this just doesn't mean that you have to create the same post or the same video over and over again. This means that you're going to talk about these things over and over again. You bring your story, you give case studies, bring example. You frame in a different way all the time. I've got a client that actually told me, I talk about this topic, but I don't want to talk again because I feel that I'm going to repeat myself and people will not be interested anymore. Actually, people will be more interesting because that one is their problem. So they want to hear about this. How you can fix the problem. Can you help them to overcome the problem? So you double down on the content that is really the main content of your coaching business. And is how you actually build credibility asset. So you first build an ecosystem of product. You first create your main product. Then you create an ecosystem of product that support your main product. And then you create an ecosystem of credibility asset that are all the social media creation that you create to make people aware of what you're capable to do it. What is your main career coach skill? And then that your credibility and your authority are increased, then you can increase your price, because price goes with value, right? If you don't provide value, you can ask for a certain price. So this is why people often, and this is, and say, especially in social media, they sell cheap advice, because they give cheap value, give away cheap value. And so to be able to be sustainable, because you need money to be sustainable, in order to be sustainable with a cheap product, you have to focus on quantity. So you need a biggest audience. But at least this is my motto. This is the answer that I give to my husband every time he asks me, what do you want? And what I answer to my husband is, maybe I'm a big dreamer, but I'm not interested in cheap money. I'm interested in changing the nursing world. I'm interested in supporting nurses. So what I want to bring on the table is value. I don't want to just create a cheat sheet and sell it for $15 because if the many sell, the better. Yes, you can create an ecosystem with the cheapest product. I also have, I wrote my book, I have the journal. So I have an ecosystem of product that supports my main product. My main product is Successful Expert Nurse Accelerator, and now is Successful Career Coach Accelerator. Okay. But for years, my main product has been Successful Expert Nurse Accelerator program for nurses who want to succeed abroad. Now, because I grow my expertise in career coaching, and because I became an entrepreneur, because I have so many knowledge and skills to share, I create a Successful Career Coach Accelerator. So you can increase the price only when you increase the value. And you increase the value by create a good core product, and you create an ecosystem around it, and then you also create your authority with network and collaboration. And then F, future-proof scale, capacity, sustainability, boundary, and anti-burnout. What does it mean? That you create a product that is so solid because you build up brick by brick, then now it goes by itself. It doesn't need your presence all the time. And your presence is so valuable at this time that you can price whatever you want. The sky is really the limit. And then you future-proof scale. And then you can create all the cheaper product that you don't need even to show up. Again, you got the QR code of the nursing career mastery AI and climate change in a shifting landscape. In a shifting healthcare landscape, you can access to them. And I'm happy to give you at half of the price. I work on that 1 year. It's done. I'm not there anymore. It's a good price. People buy it, and is available for you at half of the price if you want to know what will happen in nursing in the next years. But it's done. It's not my core program, but it's CPD accredited. So it's a source of cash for me, but it's sustainable because it doesn't need my presence anymore. I mean, I have to review every years and to keep the CPD accreditation, but it's not work that I do every day, right? And my two core programs are Successful Expert Nurse Accelerator and Successful Career Coach Accelerator. So I already future-proof my capacity, sustainability. I already put my boundary because I structured in a way that It served the client, but it served me as well, because if I burn out, I'm not able to give anything else to other people, right? So I have to protect myself. Only by protecting myself, I can actually protect my client. I give the best to my client. If I burn out, I just give shit to my client. At the end, expand and graduate. Basically, you create this plan. For me, for example, is CPD accreditation, is the podcast that I do with Kimberly, is the collaboration that I do with Mark, with Emily, with other people, with other coaches who are really established themselves in the space, in the market. So you expand because you validate yourself over time, because you didn't start for the roof. You put one brick after the other for the foundation of the house. And then you build the walls, and then at the end you build the roof, and then you paint inside and put the furniture. So you build your business one brick at a time, from the very first step to the latest. And if you don't do it like this, you don't have a sustainable business. You're going to burn out very soon, and you don't have successful or happy customer. So this was my method. This is my method. I invite you to join our private Nurses Move career coaching community, which is free. You're going to so many things as free access, courses, challenges, peer support, so many things. It's really amazing. It's everything for free. Also, you have free courses, free challenges, but you also have a premium subscription and a VIP subscription. And also you have some program like this one, Nursing Career Mastery, who inside the community are half of the price all the time. So if you don't want to join the community, but you want the program, you need the code Nurses Move 50 to access 0.5%. The offers will expire Tuesday, the 12th of May, right? But if you come inside the community and you are a member of the community, active member of the community, you'll have access to the program for half for the price all the time, like the other programs too. And also you have access learning and grow, because you have CPD certificate, all the CPD accredited program. They are all for the price inside the community. You also have an amazing peer support. You also have amazing free resources. And so I really encourage you to be part of the community if you are not part yet. So now, if you still have people watching it, I really would like to do a quick coaching session. I will ask you 20 seconds. Tell me about your situation. What are the main challenges, what you want to achieve, and I will give you one or two things that you can do, and what actually you can do in the next 72 hours. So if you want to be coach, just type coach in the comment. I'll pick up and I will do a laser coaching spot. And I'll leave you with my QR code. One is for the free community. So if you want to keep building and you want to build your career, we have resources for free and in the community. If you want to understand, go a deep dive into what is happening in the healthcare and so in nursing in the next 10 years, you want to scan this QR code that bring you to Nurse Career Mastery, AI and Climate Change is the Shifting Healthcare Landscape. And typing Nurses Move 50 at the checkout, you can redeem 50% discount, right? Okay, let me see if I have anyone. I've got some people watching, but can't see anyone typing coach. If you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer. Probably someone is watching the recording already, so You can type your comment. Let me ignore this. Let me see. I'm checking around. So please type your content. Don't worry, Flavia. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. It's an interesting session. Thank you for coming. Flavia is my client anyway. So let me see actually. Well, I've got client feedback, but I don't want to share on LinkedIn on this public event. I'm more than happy to send it to you privately if you want to watch what other clients talk about my program. Because my clients are building their career coaching program and they use LinkedIn. So I don't want to share publicly because I respect their work. And they're actually very open about it, but I don't want to involve them in this workshop anyway. So Ayan, thank you very much. Yeah, actually career coaching is very useful and bring nursing to success or to happiness in their workplace very quickly, because help nurses understand their value and where position themselves. So sound great, Coach. Thank you very much. And if you're interested, I can share it with you as well. But please join us in our community, because we discuss about this thing all the time. If the community actually is open to all nurses that want to do career, it's not only for those who want to become career coach. We have nurses from all parts of the world, and they share different roles, and also they are in the different paths. We have new graduated, more experienced nurses, those who wanted to do career in certain specialty, and those who wanted to try actually. Yeah, I know you. You are in Australia. Thank you very much for joining. You can watch the recording anyway. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kimberly. Thank you. Love you too. I think I will stop here. Don't know if you have any other things. I'm not sure if I pronunciate your name problem. I'm very well. Thank you. Just finished this second podcast, and I'm very happy we have an amazing engagement today. Even this one. So I am streaming from LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, right? If you're watching, please follow, DM me, subscribe to the channel if you want more. You have more every week. And if you have any question, you can write your question in the comment, and I'm very happy to reply. You can DM me, and I'm very happy to reply. Or you can join our community, so you really see and taste by yourself what is this amazing community. But again, if you not feel comfortable to showing up now during the live event, I will reply to you anyway. So you can go through the community, through the comment, or DM me, whatever, LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. I'm present. So please let me know, and I'm happy to answer. But anyway, nurses, I really think that we must change and lead the change, because if we wait that someone else does for us, we're going to lose. And nursing is really on the edge of a cliff, and we have to decide to jump and crash down at the cliff, or learning to fly. And I for learning to fly and fly, actually. I love you, Kimberly. Thank you very much, love. You want to jump in on this? I'm very tired. I think I'm going to go. And I hope I gave you some inspiration today, because you really, both in the career, or if you want to become a coach or create a business for yourself, you really need to go with the season of your life, because otherwise you burn out very soon, because everything requires work, everything requires sacrifice. So if you don't choose and you pick up the right things, you're going to burn out very soon. And I'm telling you, I was able to build a business despite, having a chronic condition, actually, two chronic conditions. Raising three kids, they are very demanding though. I mean, the two boys, they are in a teenage phase. So I'm telling you, it's tough. and but if you apply a method and you are kind to yourself and you stop comparing yourself with others, you are really able to reach success. Plus, if you go with a coach that can help you, not the sugarcoat things, but that can help you to see where to put your feet without fail, this is a really advantage. Career coach has so much in need, and coaching that help you this. I read this a message of these beautiful ladies because I love them so much. There is an energy building inside this profession that no title could ever contain. A remembering of what nurses can become when people stop asking permission to take up space inside it. So true. Kimberly, thank you very much for that. Kendra, thank you very much for the wonderful session, Dina. It's a pleasure. Kendra, thank you very much. I'm waiting for you in the community, by the way. And we have to chat. Long time. I don't see you. Nurses are the pulse of healthcare. So true. The heartbeat moving quietly beneath every hallway. Every unit, every waiting room, every life being held together in real time. And when a nurse remembers the depth of the influence, something shifts. Exactly. And this is why we must support each other. And this is why we really need so many coaches in the field, leadership coach like you, Kimberly, career coach like me. I'm also a leadership coach, but I'm a leadership coach because I am happy other early stage career coaches to become successful career coaches. So yeah, heartbeat by heartbeat, shift by shift, moment by moment. You were never just a caregiver. You are a creator of safety, a builder of trust, a protector of dignity, a carrier of humanity in place where humanity is needed most. So true. Oh yes, Kenya. Yes. So, sorry. So I really think, and actually, the podcast that we had early on was so powerful about visibility. It's time that nurses take the lead, but it's also time that experienced nurses take the responsibility to lead others. We have a very meaningful question for the audience today was how can we build visibility, how that this visibility can help nursing. Well, for example, if you become a career coach and you become a visible career coach, you help nurses in their career, you help nurses stay in the profession, not just that, but create meaningful project that will help patient care, but also will help nursing grow and improve. And the same people will able to create a meaningful career as well. And I think that I'm leaving. I've got a message. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Kimberly. What you do echoes far behind tasks and charts and schedules. It shapes the way people experience the most vulnerable moment of their life. The way you show up for others is an act of love. It always has been. And that is not small. That is extraordinary. People are finally starting to see themselves differently. And I would say career coaches are in need because they will able to guide nurses in this challenging moment, because now we are in a professional care, right? So we work in a profession that is very much emotionally present, and but be emotionally present in a very fast workload could be dangerous, because we can end up emotionally drainage, right? And experience emotional fatigue. And this is where burnout actually happen. So career coaching, they are not just helping nurses to build their career, they're actually helping nurses to build a workplace that is healthy. And it's actually what I do with the project that I work with. Oh no, I lost. Are you there? Are you there? Oh, I'm still. I don't know what's happening. Oh, but okay, sorry, I don't know what's happened. But yes, I would say that career coaching will help also create a workplace environment that are healthy. And we actually are called to help. We are not psychologists, so we cannot help nurses with their trauma or with their past, but we can help the nurses to work in their present moment and become emotionally intelligent and cultural intelligent, so that they can really are able to they are really able to manage the change that are about to happen. Thank you. And so please, if you're watching the recording, still comment, still reach out, because I'm happy to answer to you. Thank you very much for all of you who were here listening. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Flavia. And I saw someone else. Thank you, Lasik, as well from YouTube. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, if you want to add your career coach in your career, please scan the QR code and join our free community, and we can talk further there, because I know work with everyone, but I'm happy to share free resources in the community. So we're gonna talk about it. If you are interested, we can talking about, okay? But no pressure. I'm not here to sell anything. Well, if you want, the program is the half of the price, so it's for you, it's not for me. But yes, join us the community, because we are very support each other. Thank you very much for listening. 1 hour enough. Thank you for your presence. I love you all. Bye. Take care of yourself. And happy Mother's Day, and happy International Nurse Week, and happy International Nurse Day for Tuesday. I love you all. Bye. Thank you very much for coming. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao. Ciao.